Senator Susan Collins says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has seized its enhanced operations in Maine. Collins says the announcement comes after several direct communications between herself and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. Collins' office says while DHS can't give details or the numbers of agents entering and exiting the state, they expect the level of activity from Immigrations and Customs Enforcement entities to return to levels Mainers experienced prior to the announcement of Operation Catch of the Day. We spoke to her this afternoon. She says this means ICE will go back to its normal operational tempo, focusing on if someone is here illegally and has committed a crime.
No longer will we have a heightened level of ICE operations where individuals who do not have criminal records and maybe have come here in a way that is not legal but have now work permits. They've claimed asylum and they are waiting for their immigration judges to adjudicate their claims on whether or not they're entitled to stay in the United States.
Collins says she welcomes this and that we have a lot of essential and working people in numerous fields like healthcare, manufacturing, agriculture, and make real contributions to our communities. Governor Mills also reacting to the news saying, quote, "We still do not know critical details about the 200 individuals ICE says it has detained, many of whom appear to be here legally, who have no criminal record, and who are not the worst of the worst. The people of Maine deserve to know the identities of every person taken from here, the legal justification for doing so, where they are being held, and what the federal government's plan for them are."